Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast.
And there it is! Sutton United of the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this. But the whistle goes now. Delight for Sutton United. Sutton United from the National League are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Sutton United Talk Time on podcast, the Sutton Podcast midweek treat. I'm still toying with that name, but I do like the midweek treat. It sounds good. And as an extra special treat, we have PC, Paul Chalmers, joining us. Hello, Paul. How are you?
Very good, very good. How are yourselves?
Very well, thank you. So, started this pod back in 2018, and it's taken me 3 years to get you.
Yeah.
In fairness, there was a little
I've got some stories about you.
there was a little tiny gap, I suppose, but still got you on eventually. And you've been supporting Sutton for a few years. So I'm not doing the whole "Who are you" thing because I can't work out how to do the SoundCloud thing. But tell us a bit about yourself, why you support Sutton, your bit of Sutton history.
Okay, I've been watching Sutton 30 years, 91. I waited until we got relegated from the conference before I started coming. And after all the, a couple of years after the Coventry and Middlesbrough era, if you like, we were average for a while. I went to a couple of games locally, like I think I've heard a few other people have done on the pod. And yes, Sutton was just the one. There was my first game was Bromley, 1-1 draw, 22-man brawl on the pitch, and yeah, it was like it's a good atmosphere here. I like this place. Something about it, and yeah, we've had our ups and downs. We've had some successes, and yeah, I've seen my fair share of the lows as well in those years. I don't get to as many games as I'd like to nowadays. Life gets in the way a bit, work, children, so on and so forth. So I do miss more than I used to. I've, go to most games over the years. In the last 5-10 years or so, it's dropped off with children coming and the likes, and everything's got in the way a bit. But I say dropped off. I still make most of the home games and a good smattering of the away games as well. So,
yep, lovely. The one we're going to talk about, I'm guessing, was circled in your calendar quite early in the fixtures as a high point.
It was.
Just to get to know you a little bit more, I've been asking people of their favourite player, not of the current crop. So discredit any of the current crop, but who would be your favourite player throughout the years?
Okay. There's a few that are up there. I mean, in my early days, we had the Wickham Cup run to the trophy run, to the semi, beating them up at their place, Adams Park, is it? Great game. Peter Byrne is a player that jumps out for me, who was a tough battling midfielder. Dave Jones, bit of FA Cup glory against Torquay and the county game. Ollie Mora, name that rings a bell with many, I'm sure, as well, who was just a rapid, stocky centre forward. But for me, the two names that stand out for me probably are Nazim Akro and Dominic Felton. Dom was just such a skillful player. Some of the little tricks and the goals were just amazing. And Nazim, great battling player and very skillful again. And they're two players that stand out sort of from my early era. So yeah.
Naz is still playing. It was discovered the other day.
Yeah, I saw the article, but it was all in French, and my French isn't much top. So if it had been in Spanish, I might have had a bit of go because I'm giving it a go.
Yeah, I think it was they were doing a giveaway, and I think it was Jane Osgood. I don't know whether she's got like a notification or something on there, but suddenly she tweeted it going, "Hang on a minute, Naz is still playing. What's going on?" And we're like, Jesus, he's 498.
Yeah, I know he was at Troyes and he was at Grenoble for a bit, wasn't he? In the bottom end of the French Ligue 1 for many years. But yeah, I'm not sure where he's playing now. Do you know?
I can't remember. It was on there, but
it's a couple of levels down. But fair play to him.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We didn't have him for long. But he definitely caught the eye.
Yeah, it had a bit of an impact. I mean, there's a few players like that I was thinking of as you were talking as well, because I've named mine, but big shouts out to Efan as well.
Yeah.
Again, a great player for us at the time. The story is he just rocked up as a trial and can I have a go? Yeah, all right.
I see Unko regularly, actually.
Yeah, I saw he's in Sutton somewhere or Carshalton somewhere, I think.
Yeah. His daughter goes to the same school as my son. He's got a Maya as well. I've got a Maya. He's got a Maya.
Blimey.
So he lives next door to my pal as well. So.
Oh, excellent, lovely.
Yeah. So no, I see him often, and we have a chat about football and stuff.
Yeah, there was Paul Rogers, similar time. Obviously, we had him for a bit longer. But he was, I think, the first one I remember going off to professional football. That's the first one I remember. But yeah, no, we've had some good ones. Although anyone listening, obviously I love talking to all the people I've known for many, many, many years, but we've all supported Sutton for sort of 20, 30 plus years. So if any of the young ones want to come on and talk to me about their current player, please do, because we're all talking almost black and white photos, some of these. But moving on to the Bradford game, as we said, it was one of the games that was highlighted for quite a few people, and the first thing I want to discuss is I think I saw 2 or 3 people saying variations of the same thing of this stand that they put us in is bigger than our entire ground.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the big standout for me was the 2 stands, the wraparound stand opposite us, if you like, was absolutely massive. You know, for us to be playing at a ground like that was out of this world. But the stand that we were in probably is the third biggest side, if you like, and even that was huge old stand, and it was an amazing ground to go to. I think so many people, because it's a Premier League ground, wanted to get there and see Little Sutton play there. We always refer to ourselves as Little Sutton, don't we? But I want to see Little Sutton play there, and yeah, we had a great time. A few of us stayed up there as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean the chap who was on last week, Tom from Bradford, Bantam's Banter. God, I knew I'd get it wrong. He was kind of saying that he said Bradford seemed to be this target because a lot of people think we're a big club, but we've been in League Two for more years than I can remember. Poor fella, he started supporting them in the Premier League years, and he's had years and years of just decline now.
Yeah.
But most of the comments I saw from Bradford fans were, there's people a little bit annoyed that they're playing Little Old Sutton, but it wasn't a pop at Little Old Sutton. It was more their decline. And when people were challenged, going, hang on a minute, we've got a right to play you. They're like, no, that's not what we meant. We're just fair play to you guys.
Something the manager said was, we're in good form, we're in the playoffs, blah blah blah, and a lot of them took the manager was afraid of us, and that set a few of them off.
Yeah,
but
they should be.
Yeah. I mean, it says more about where they are than where we are, really. They are in decline. They're a club who should potentially be higher up, but they're not for many reasons. Like so many National League clubs. You're saying about being a target. Wrexham are a target of so many clubs now because of all their money and the Hollywood guys. And going to a place like Chesterfield, Notts County, it's always harder for those sides to be able to get out of the National League probably than say Boreham Wood. They're doing very well at the moment, aren't they? And for them to come out of that league, there's not any expectation from them really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's harder. There is a pressure.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think we've said it a few times to different people, but a lot of these games, and especially like the one at the weekend, is FA Cup games for us over the years. This is we get FA Cup training, but it's not. It's every week. We're at Tranmere one week from Bradford, and it's like these are our level clubs now, and our guys are there toe to toe. We're not just there getting battered every single week. In fact, there's only one game I think we were outclassed a little bit at the beginning, the Swindon game, but then we kind of dug ourselves back into it. And then the Leyton Orient game, just things went horribly wrong. And they're probably the only two games I've come away with thinking, we didn't really deserve much there. And
I think 20 minutes of Port Vale maybe at the start, and they went 2 up quickly, didn't they?
I put money on us to win at that point. Yeah, we're not talking a huge amount of money, but at that point we were 2-0 down, and I was like, do you know what? I fancy this, and I went on to Betfair, and I stuck a couple of quid on, and I have to admit I bottled out when we got back to 3-3 and I cashed out. So I was more pissed off when we got the winner. But cashed out at 3-3. I know we took the lead, but
so go on.
No, go on.
I had a little. I probably shouldn't say this, but I didn't. After we won the league against Hartlepool, I didn't think we'd be able to get much of a side out, or there was, walking wounded and the likes against Barnet, and I thought, there's. I think there was 7-1 Barnet to beat us, so I had a little tickle on that as well. Yeah. So
in fairness, that's usually a fairly sensible bet for people.
It was a dead rubber, wasn't it? As well?
We didn't.
It's the no pressure. We just let the shackles off, and it was almost a irrelevant game for us, really.
Yeah, and in fairness, knowing our players after the game, they probably had lots of liquid refreshment. No, that's a terrible thing to say. They're very professional. Anyone listening?
Totally agree.
But it's been a magnificent season, and we have done really, really well. But on the Bradford game in particular, how was it going for you? How did you see it going?
Yeah, I mean, I would have taken a point before the game. I would have been very happy with a point. That would have been enough. I thought, okay, we've got walking wounded. We're struggling a bit with numbers.
Yeah,
I thought the side we got out was relatively strong. I know Milsom had to push into centre midfield. So we were missing obviously Eastie, Harry, Kenny. But I'd say pretty much the only other player missing was probably Kizzy, and Barden's done more than good enough job at fullback. Isaac was on the bench, wasn't he? I think, and came. Was Isaac on the bench? No, he wasn't. Was he?
No, Kobe as well was out.
I'm getting that mixed up actually. Yeah, so Isaac missing as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and Kobe.
We weren't at our weakest, I would say.
No, I mean I did a little doubt with you got both Louis and Ben who took a knock.
Yeah, they weren't full fitness, were they?
Yeah, so
certainly.
If I was Bradford, I would definitely have been making them run everywhere. But they obviously didn't. We took the lead after they'd have fella sent off, and Rob dispatched that penalty very nicely.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we gave the away lead. We made it exciting.
I don't know, switched off a bit maybe. Given them that opportunity. These things happen, don't they?
Yeah.
So often a team scores after you've scored yourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the worry. Not worry. I don't lay at night panicking about it, but the little concern for me is getting a reputation for it, because we kind of lost the lead against Bristol in the last few weeks. So we even had the lead against Leyton Orient, although they wiped the floor with us. But yeah, Bristol, Newport, and then Bradford, where we were leading position and seemingly doing all right to losing. But then on the flip side of that is the game we already spoke about. We got the both Stevenage and Port Vale. We were losing and came back to win.
Yeah.
So Matt said many times it kind of goes both ways in the season. But the the second equaliser was a stinger.
Yeah.
So yeah, we took the lead again.
Was it offside?
It
was tight. There was talk
Yeah.
about it, but I'm not sure if he was actually off or not.
I didn't actually see it back, but it was the other moment where we were given a corner that wasn't a corner.
Yeah.
And then there was
the crowd got on the officials' back, didn't they?
Yeah. Then there was the
Linos back.
The double problem was it over the line, and if it wasn't over the line, was it a handball? Because it looked like both his hands on it.
It looked like two hands on it from Paul's photos, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which are obviously amazing photos every time. He's a real credit to the club.
Absolutely.
Talking about safe hands, Paul's always been safe hands, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
Back in the day.
Yeah. I was telling someone the other week that when he was in my five-a-side team and I came on, and the only instruction he gave me was stand in front of their goalkeeper, just try and block his view. And I'm like, that's the level of skill he has put on me. Just block their view, fat guy.
Who came out with that team name? Because it always stuck in my head, and I always look out for that team's results now.
Real Social Dad.
Real Social Dads.
That was me.
That was you, was it?
That was me. Yeah, Real Social Dads. I was going with Atletico Midriff as well.
Yeah.
I had a few, but I decided Real Social Dads was a winner. Someone's stolen the name and the badge that I designed.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, hang on, that's fine.
For another five-a-side team?
Yeah, it's up north somewhere. But first of all, I was a bit annoyed, and I was like, do you know what? It's all right. I've moved on to the next thing now. I don't need that.
That's it.
But yeah, so we had the second. After the first, we took the lead 2-1. I hear there was some. I was reading the Gandamonium. There's some Sharon Stone moments. Were you witness to?
Yes.
to the arseless chaps.
To be honest with you, yeah, split his trousers. Yeah, we did mock him about that. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
He soon sorted himself out before we got to the first pub. He dealt with the situation, and there was fine curry had by many, and a few more beers, and we're good to go.
Yeah, good. And then you had the nice little stay overnight, and then a very short nip down in the morning. Nice.
Yeah, that didn't go too well. Yeah, with some points failure at Newark Northgate. So we sat for pretty much 2 hours, barely moving, which was not ideal. But I was eager to watch the Formula One Grand Prix and managed to watch it all on the train.
Excellent.
I was expecting to only get half an hour of it.
Yeah.
I managed to get the whole race. So
well,
a little positive from a negative.
Could also have been worse. I saw Ryan on Sunday. He was out his work, just looking shattered. And I sort of said, "Oh, did you come home last night?" And he was like, "Yeah, it took ages, and it was a dry train."
I saw that after 6 p.m.
Yeah,
all dry trains.
I suspect they'll be checking their tickets very carefully in the future, not to do that mistake again.
Definitely. But back to the game. I wasn't really something about the Bradford fans. They do seem there was in some of the pubs that we went in before the game. There was negativity there. You know, they're not happy with the situation they're in. They're not feeling the manager by the sounds of things at the minute. He doesn't seem to be filling them with a lot of confidence. And obviously what I was saying before about his comments about Sutton and being, almost worried about us, didn't go down well. The atmosphere in the ground, they've got a drum, which, a ground like that. They've got a section. They look like they had a singing section up in a corner. And they had a bit of a go, but I know there wasn't a huge amount of us, and we made the noise we could with our crowd, but considering how many of them there were, it was quiet there. There wasn't much about them at all trying to push the team forward. It took the team to push them to get going, if you like.
Well, it must be. I mean, we're talking 20 years of of failure, basically.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've been very lucky with our 10, 11 years of almost constant success. But if you could just imagine 20 years of slowly going down those divisions, it must demoralise you. Poor
I
sods.
guess,
Yeah. But
one guy went very what's the word? Dreary-eyed? No, not dreary-eyed. But we were talking about Benito Carbone.
Misty-eyed.
And what a player he was.
Yeah.
He was very impressed.
Yeah.
We brought that up. So,
but talking about the game, I'll put you on the spot if you like. What's your pod? Who's your pod? Player of the day.
Yeah. I mean, it was a battling performance. We gave our all. They all just third game, away game, 1,000 miles. I think some said they've travelled. It was a tough old slog, and we battled away. And I think my pod, I think, would go to Ali Smith. Battled away, got his head on the goal, took the second goal. In the right place, getting everywhere.
Hopping around midfield.
Yes, definitely.
Who's one
so, I think I'll go with Ali Smith.
Excellent.
Very, very impressed with him since he's come in. So.
Absolutely, yeah. The Mansfield chap I had on, he did highlight him and said, why we let him go? No idea, just not a clue. And I think, the Meet the Managers night, Matt was saying that essentially they've got targets to replace everyone, and potentially not necessarily straight away, but come in and maybe a year or so down the line. So I'm not 100% sure whether Ali was supposed to be having this big impact already. I think he was more. It was going to be Eastie and Harry, and then Ali coming in when needed. But he's obviously had a much bigger impact, which is excellent for us, obviously.
Makes you wonder what we're going to do in January. Are we going to bolster a little bit? Are we?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was mentioned a few times that Bruce felt the size of the squad was excessive already.
Really?
Not more of a jokey kind of, Bruce type of way of, do we really need this many players?
Make it. So,
but what's happened recently with just the spate of injuries is just mental. I can't remember who I was talking to, but I did mention the other week that I don't remember on the pitch that causes so much injury, the 4G pitch that players didn't like playing on because it causes injuries. Don't remember any long, serious set of injuries that we've had. I have got Cat coming on in a few weeks, so I will try and get some answers. See if I can get some.
I'll listen to them all, Mike.
Yeah, get some data to back up my wild theories as well. But your next job is to have a little chat about the Harrogate match that we've got coming up. I was going to get joined by a gentleman from Harrogate, but unfortunately he's ill. The feedback he's given me, though, if I can find it, this is brilliant. So it's a gentleman who does a lot of their media stuff, was going to come on, but he got ill, and he said basically that where are we? Oh, this is awful. This is awful. You tell me what you think about Harrogate while I find it. This
okay. Yeah.
This dead silence.
Yeah, I think they seem to have dropped off a little bit recently. I had a little quick look at the form table before I came on, and they have 1-2 drawn 2 of their last 10. So they're having a bit of a blip. Obviously, they started very well. I actually watched their documentary for the first time this week as well. Not intentionally because we were due to play them, but I was just flicking through the iPad yesterday, and I was on BT, and I saw the documentary was there, and I hadn't seen it on there for a while, and I've been wanting to watch it for a while, so I stuck it on, and I found it quite entertaining. They seem to have risen through the leagues quite relatively quickly. I don't know the full story of how quick they've come up, but the manager's been there for a long time, hasn't he? He's been there something like 12 years. And they've progressed steadily. They've got some, the chairman is the manager's old man. and they seem to have a few quid behind them, but they are doing things slowly. I seem to remember that they came down to SC Slatter conference at our place when they were looking at getting their 3G pitch fitted. I always remember Harrogate coming down and them having big ambitions. So that was a good few years back. So it's going to be a tough one, but I think we could give them a good game. Our form's all right, I know we've lost a few, but I'd like to think the numbers are coming back, and hopefully we'll have a strong sort of Christmas, as long as it goes ahead, and see where we are at the other side. I suspect we may drop off a little bit. I wonder if the season will catch up with us at some point. I don't know, but I'm a bit of a pessimist at times, which is not ideal. But yeah, for us to get to 50 points as quick as we can, and then see where we are from there. Could you imagine if we're still having to competing for the playoffs with 5 games to go or something? That would be
ridiculous.
Dreams, wouldn't it?
Ridiculous.
So,
well, the chap said to me almost what you just said. We're bad at home, but good away at the moment.
Yeah.
However, we've got a very tired, small squad. It's a bit of lottery what players will have to turn up. We'll either be very good or very bad. I was like,
that was something I was hoping to ask them, actually, how they feel squad size has worked for them. Whether they felt they, needed a bigger squad and such like, because obviously they're a year ahead of us, aren't they? If you like, in the progression. So
when I was
we couldn't get it.
Trying to work out, and I couldn't quite get it straight in my head about obviously we've got the academy and the players there. Now I don't really know what happens to the players once they sort of turn 18 and they stop in the academy. I know we've got Killian Kalassi, I think his name is.
He's doing very well, isn't he?
He's gone out on loan, but there doesn't seem to be any jump between the academy and then straight into the first team.
But what I'd like to see, and I think what a lot of higher level sides do, is they'll probably bring some of the players through that Marvin and Ricky and Ross recommend into the first team, get them training pre-season and the likes, and then send them out on loan, maybe to a National League South side, National League, even Killian's at a Southern
Chesham
side, Chesham United, isn't it? So send them out on loan, see what they do. I think that's how it generally works with a lot of these players, isn't it?
Yeah, the only thing I always, again, don't quite get, because obviously I don't know anything about it, is you send them out on loan and you're kind of giving their progression to someone else. So do they still train with us? Do they what happens? But there's definitely a little gap. But we've got the small squad, but we have got players coming back in. So hopefully it'll all work in our favour. Can I press you for a prediction?
I mean, I don't do bad with predictions sometimes. I've picked a couple of results out. There was a competition and I got the score right for that, for a signed shirt or something last season.
You get nothing like that here.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think I'm going to go for 2-1. A 2-1 victory. Yeah. Okay. We often bounce back and pick up a good result. A week break, hopefully, has seen some legs rested a little. So that we can, have a battle and give it a good go against Harrogate. Yeah. So 2-1 for me.
Some of the magic hands working on the massaging. My extremely scientific method has actually gone 3-1. So my football manager game has done it as a 3-1 win. So that's what I'm going to stick with.
Didn't you? I'm sure I heard that your game suggested 2-2 in a game recently.
It was Newport County.
Newport, yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching it on the iFollow thing, and it got to 2-2, and I thought, Mike predicted that. I wonder if that's going to come in. And then
a little bit of me was going, oh, I'll win some money if it stays 2-2. And I'm like, no, attack. Forget the money, just go for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the only one who's got it right so far is the guy from Bristol Rovers podcast, the Gascast. Other than that, I got the draw right at Bradford, but it was I put a 1-1 instead of a 2-2. But still, that puts me second in the league. Hey,
there you go.
The fact I've got to go every single week is by the by. We're not going to move on. So just anyone who was listening to Paul and a minute ago and was getting confused, what that's called is research. So he's looked up stuff and he's watched a documentary. So he's not going to be asked on again. Put me to shame here. Just wing it, Mike. Wing it. You'll be fine. But we are coming to the end. I was asking for various different things on to the other guy about different stuff for my plan, but he's not here, so there's no point asking you. Anyone who is listening, obviously we've got these social media channels. It's at Sutton Podcast on all of them, including TikTok, although I haven't done anything on there recently. So if you could just share on your social media. There are a few interviews coming up over the Christmas period. It's going to be kind of weird days. So although I've settled on a Sunday service and a midweek treat, there's going to be some weird days coming up. So the next one I've got is Monday the 20th, where I'll be joined by Claire and Sarah from Sutton United, and Kaz from Bristol Rovers, who is part of the Her Game 2 movement. So, of part one, the founder, sorry, Kaz, of the Her Game 2 movement. So that'll be quite an interesting one. So if anyone wants to join in the chat, just fire in your comments and I'm sure I can ask them any questions. Other than that, I have held you long enough. You can go and have your dinner.
Stick the oven on.
Yeah. Mine was going on in the background, you see. You got to go. Thank you very much. And I will see you soon. I'll see you Saturday, probably.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The announcement today wasn't anything too dramatic. It was just.
I've not heard it yet.
Yeah, no, it was again just please get boosted. So we'd look all right. There was one from the club, and it was just about people being sensible. It wasn't anything that is too nothing. Just little things like if you're moving around the club, put a mask on. Obviously, if you're in a bar drinking, you can't put a mask on. But other than that, it was all fairly sensible stuff. So nothing too dramatic. So we should all be fine. But thank you all for listening, and take care. And I will see some of you Saturday. And if not, I will speak to you all again on the 20th. Thank you very much.
United!